So the media ethics video shows us how important ethics are for journalists. Laws are legislated by government, and there's a definitive right and wrong. Ethics is a set of guidelines involving moral values, acceptable behaviors, and professional standards. Instantly, I think of all the ethical dilemmas I've been through in this program. I'm actually really proud of myself. I've not done anything unethically in my reporting or writing stories. For example, a situation that's come up in my over a year tenure in this program is people hearing I'm doing interviews and them asking me what story I'm writing, and they'll say, oh, I can help you, I can talk about this and that. It's a bunch of stuff they don't know anything about. They're just trying to help me out, and I'm like, that's a lie, first of all, and unethical, and I'm not going to write about random stuff in my story just because you think it's going to help me. It's like, thanks for wanting to help, but this isn't how it works. Like, that's cheating. I say, I'm not going to report something that's not true or even stretched at all. So it's a little things like that where I could easily say, sure, and no one would know. I'd have this crazy story, but it'd be unethical. And in my head, one wrong choice like that leads to many bad choices. So there's a famous quote, and I'm not sure who said it, but it's something I live by. It's like, if you're going to do something, do it right or don't do it at all. So taking shortcuts can get you to the right destination once or twice, but in the long run, doing things the right way, it's how you achieve your goals. I've tried my best to do that this entire program. So then this video talks about how, Growing Us teaches us our ethical framework. And the video talks about how you can't just take photos and use them. We learned about this early in the program. You can use Creative Commons and attribution for photos. So I actually prefer taking my own photos. The great thing about iPhone, something we've read about, it's 2024. Basically, I have a camera in our pocket. So follow the rule of thirds and use your own photos. That's kind of what I go by. I did learn I should attribute my own photos that I take and take responsibility for them. I actually never thought about this until now. I thought if I used my own photo, I could just say nothing, but I've learned it's important to let the reader know I'm taking responsibility for that photo. You can't just edit photos either and take stuff out. We can crop, but we can't change photos. And then finally, we need to follow the SBJ Code of Ethics, which we've studied before. In the TED video, speaker mentioned sports are more than just a game, it's a way of life, and it brings people together. Couldn't be more true. I have friends that I've built close connections with and develop relationships solely over sports. Without sports, I don't know necessarily if we would be friends. So it's also sad to me that journalists and broadcasters stereotype sports players by race, and I really see it all the time. The example I can give you is when people say, oh, he's the next blah, blah, blah. So, like, for an example, Puka Nacua was this great rookie wide receiver last year, and he's white. And the draft's coming up. So people, broadcasters, journalists will say, oh, that guy coming out of the draft, he's the next Puka Nacua. Guess what? He's white. Guess what? Puka Nacua's white. So they compare like that all the time. Intelligence, background, motivation, strength, leader are all word choices that can be racially charged. Now I get this, but there's something I majorly disagreed with about the podcast. The speaker talks about Cam Newton and Tom Brady. And he goes, when we talk about Tom Brady, we talk about intelligence. We don't talk about athletic ability or, God-given talent. But with Cam Newton, we talk about his strength, his talent. We don't talk about his intelligence. And then the speaker says, this is racially charged. I disagree with this completely. We don't talk about Tom Brady being athletic because Tom Brady's not athletic. The guy is not athletic. He has arm talent. I probably run faster than Tom Brady. I'm not majorly athletic. Do I run faster than Cam Newton? Am I as strong as Cam Newton? Not at all. We don't talk about Cam Newton being intelligent because there's other parts of his game that he does better and he wins with. Like, yes, obviously intelligence is involving it. But when he trucks a player on the NFL field and scores a touchdown, we're not going, that was smart. We're going, he's a strong guy because he's big, he's strong, he's 6'4". That Tom Brady, like, his natural given talent isn't that he's 6'4" and 230 and lifts like crazy. That's Cam Newton. So that's what we talk about. I just don't think that's racist at all. Like, we talk about that because Cam is athletic and Tom's not. Like, it's clear to see when Tom's breaking down the defense that he's not doing it with athletics. So we're not going to mention him being athletic. It just doesn't make sense. I get stereotypes that they exist every day in sports. I just think that example in specific was terrible. I just think it was terrible. And lastly, I'm a server at a restaurant. There's stereotypes all the time on people that tip. And that's how I can relate it to my life because a lot of the servers will go, oh, I'm going to get a bad tip, and they'll stereotype. I just try to never do that. I want to say this. I've been proven wrong so many times serving people that you never know who's going to tip you. You never know who's not. You never know the stereotypes. And you just want to treat everyone the same all the time and never stereotype people, really. And just watch your words and make sure that, you're doing everything ethically and, the right way. Thank you.